Welcome everybody, it's time for football, and Grandpa Sports Videos have come out to Staley High School here tonight as the Staley Falcons are going to be taking on the Truman Patriots. And of course, Staley coached by Phil Light and the Truman Patriots coached by Charles Pugh. Got a few fans kind of showing up here late. Sorry about the disruption there, but that's the way life goes. We don't get fancy here. We just try to do the game and tell you what's going on and hopefully who carried the ball and whatever information we can pass along. But just a beautiful evening here for one of the last days of August as we get ready to start September here in just a day or so. But Staley won the toss and elected to kick off. So Truman Patriots will be getting the ball here in this first play of the 2019-20 football season. I'm going to have to tell you that the print on this program is really small, so you're going to have to bear with me as I try to keep up with it. But here we go. We are about ready for the kickoff, and it is. The season has started, and it will go out of bounds down on about, looks like the 15-yard line, and it will be, I'm sure, a penalty on that, and they'll have to bring it out. Legal procedure, the head ref is signaling there. And the ball is going to come out, it looks like, to about the 35 on the near hash mark. So we'll see what Truman has to offer. Some pretty good sized boys up there on that front line, it looks like. See number 74, let's see what he is. Devon Rivera, 370.
What did he do?
That's good size. And it's going to be a handoff and going to be a tackle right there, right in the middle, with what looks like a gain of probably about 2 or 3 yards. And the tackle was number 18, Cade Combs or Coons. I'd like to say the type is really small, folks. I'm sorry. You just got to bear with me on this deal. But like I say, it looks like a gain of about 2 or 3 yards. Quarterback, number 1, looks like Ramon Shelton. I'm sorry. He's a senior, 5'11", 163 pounds. And looks like Truman's going to call a timeout, like there might have been some misunderstanding there. So they're going to have a timeout. We'll be right back right after this timeout. And we're ready to go again. Looks like Truman's got one wide out and a man split out over here to the left side. Quarterback takes it, another running play, and he is going to be stopped right dead at the line of scrimmage, if not a loss. And yeah, it looks like about a 2-yard loss there. And I'm sorry, I already missed who the running back was. Excuse me, dear. Sorry. Now almost an empty backfield. Looks like the quarterback does have one back. He takes the snap, going to go back, and it's going to be a pass this time. They go out into the flat to the single back in the backfield. And that was number 13. Whoops, I'm sorry. Number 12. And that's Dawson Parks. And it's going to be 4th down. And a good 9 to go for this first down, so it looks like first series of down here is Truman Patriots are going to be putting the ball away. We're already down under 10 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Snap, kick. Kind of a low, not going very far, and Truman pounces on it as it starts to bounce back the other way. So it will be Staley's ball, and we'll see just exactly how this new Staley offense is going to be able to do here at home on opening night here at Staley Falcons home field. Fake handoff, and then hands it off right up the middle, and looks like he will gain about 3. And I think the last name was Mitchell. I didn't get the first name. Pass out into the flat to number 1. And he's going to go down the sideline. He's going to go out of bounds. It looks like at about the Truman Patriot 40-yard line, 38, something like that. And that was number 1 for Staley, Ramon Shelton. I think I told you the wrong player a while ago for Truman, but we'll straighten that out as we go. Looks like a 1st and 10. Go ahead. And the handoff up into the line. Going to get a gain of maybe 2, maybe 3. I think I'll move down there. Staley again, the quarterback's going to carry it, number 12, and I think he's going to be short of the first down. And that's Dawson Parks. Man, I picked a section here that's got a bunch of kids going back and forth, but we'll see what we can do. We can work it out some way, I don't know. Fake pass, handoff, and I don't know if he's going to make any ground there or not. I think Truman may have stopped him. Yeah, they're saying no first down. It's going to be 4th down and 1. And now some players start to come in from the sideline. If they do like they did last year, they're going to line up in this real tight formation with 2 or 3 guys in the backfield, and they'll just run it right up the middle. And that looks like that's what they're going to do. He looks like outside of the tackle, and he is going to get the first down. I think they kind of faked him out on that. But he sure looked like he was outside of the tackle. And that is number 27, Mylan Mitchell, with the first down. Sorry about the camera work. It's hard to announce these things and run the camera at the same time, but we're going to try. Fake run play going. Oh, the receiver fell down over there. It looked like he was open, and that was number 2, Trevor Dusenberry, that the pass was intended for, but he fell down. No obstruction by the defender. Looks like he just fell down. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. Excuse me. Run up the middle again. And that is number 5. DeMont Marshall was the ball carrier, number 5. And it looks like he might have picked up just a couple of yards. This is going to be 3rd and about 7, it looks like. Back to pass. Going to throw it up short right there in the middle. And he'll immediately be hit by some Truman Patriots. Looking like 18 and 12 were in on that tackle. That would be Quincy Scott and Christopher Felix with a hit on that play. Staley up to the line really quick. Now I think we're going to be, looks like 4th and 6. And there must have been some motion. So that's going to make it pretty much 4th and 11 now, I believe. And Staley still lines up like they are going to go for it. Staley going to drop back, going to roll out. He's looking, he's going to throw it short. And Truman will take over on downs right there on the 31-yard line. As soon as they line back up, folks, we'll be right back. Okay, 1st and 10 for Truman. Once again, got 2 receivers split out wide with one in the slot, in the back in the backfield behind the quarterback. He steps back, they're going to throw it out wide. And I'm going to make the catch and get a couple of yards, but Staley's going to be right there to stop him. And the reception there was number 12, Quincy Scott. He's a junior, 6'2", 175 pounds. But still only able to get just a couple of yards there on this Staley defense. Of course, one of the mainstays of the Staley teams over the years have been a really stout defensive unit. Got 4 receivers out this time. One back in the backfield. They're going to drop back. He's looking, going to step up, going to make a run, and he's going to get the first down as he gets up past the first down marker, and that is quarterback Carter Brown. He's a senior, 6 foot, 160 pounds. Nice run. All the receivers were pretty well covered, but he scampered outside and went up that sideline and just barely got past that first down marker. A little more crowd filling in over there on the Truman side, still pretty sparse. For this first game of the year, handoff to the running back. And he's barely going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And I believe that was number 14. That is Earl Calvey. Truman up to the line again. Looks like they've got 3 men out wide. 2 men in the backfield, one up right behind the left tackle. And I think there might have been some movement in the line there, if I've seen it correctly with the umpire calls there. Yep, illegal procedure. Well, that'll be a 5-yard penalty, so it is going to be 2nd and right at 15, I'd say. They're saying 14. I'll give them that. So now 2nd and 14 for Truman. See what they come up with. And a handoff. No, not. I'm sorry. Quarterback keeps the ball. And he gains maybe 3 yards. So it's going to be like 3rd down and 11. Tackle for Staley was Nick Wright, if I heard the announcer correct. Didn't catch the number. Staley looks like they're pulling their safeties up. Not going to play him quite so deep, even though Truman's got 4 split out. And it is a pass. And that's going to be a sack in the backfield. I think that tackle was number 15, Braden Robertson. He's a junior, 5'10", 176. So Truman now back in punt formation. Staley player back on the 35. Nice punt this time, still off kind of the side of his foot. And Staley's going to let it roll, and Truman will down it. It looks like at about the 35.5. We'll take a little break, folks, as the offense comes out. We'll be back here in just a minute. Staley with the ball, man in motion, fakes a handoff, and then go to the big back. But he's not going to get anywhere. In fact, I think he may lose a yard. I missed his number. I want to say, no, it's 27. That's who it is. And that's Mylan Mitchell, senior, 5'9", 283. Wow, big boy. And the handoff's going to go to Mitchell again as he tries the line on the other side. But boy, Truman with that big line is just stacking them up right there. It looks like they're going to give him maybe 2 yards, 3 yards on that. And it's going to be 3rd and, I'm going to say, 7. Quarterback rolls out, going to throw out in the flat, and it's going to be a catch. And it's going to be number 16. Looks like Jonathan Wyckoff. He's a junior, 5'11", 146. And he makes that catch. The Truman defender had an arm in there, but he managed to hang on to it and then add a few more yards on the end of the play. And here we go into the line again with Mitchell. And Mitchell's going to come out of it there with about 5, maybe 4.5 yards. Mitchell had up a pretty good head of steam that time as he head into the line. This time handoff on the other side to number 22, and he's going to get stopped. That's Fabian McLeod. Staley now with 4 men out, spread out. Quarterback goes back to throw and then sees nobody's open. Decides to try and run it there on the other side, and he may get a couple. And it's going to be 4th and 8, and looks like Staley's going to have to kick it away. So far here, a real seesaw battle. The defenses are dominating the game, as neither one of the offenses have even ripped off any kind of a play any longer than maybe 10 yards. Staley here in punt formation. Kick, and not a bad kick. Truman player gets it on the 12-yard line and immediately brought down. And there, Staley acts like there is a fumble. We'll have to see what the call is. Whether or not they're going to say down by contact or what. Looks like it is going to be a timeout, and I still have no sign, but I think it's still Truman's ball. We'll be back right after this timeout. Well, we're back. Evidently, he must have been down by contact because Truman has the ball. And looked like a handoff up the middle. And looks like no gain. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and I did not see which number that was. I'm sorry. But anyway, didn't realize it, but the first quarter of the 2019 season is gone. We are now in the second quarter. It's amazing we waited so long for this to happen, and then all of a sudden it's gone. And looks like I think Staley is calling timeout. Yes, no, Truman is. We'll be back right after this timeout. One receiver really split out wide here for Truman. I mean, almost to the sideline, and it looks like there's a fumble in the backfield. But it's recovered by Truman. I think the quarterback immediately fell on it. Ball on the 9-yard line. Looks like it's 3rd down and 13 after that fumble there in the backfield. So Truman kind of in a deep hole here. We'll see whether or not they can pull something out of the hat here, get themselves out of the hole that they're in. Quarterback in the end zone, throws over the receiver, and 2 Staley players there pretty close, but unable to get to the ball. And I think that pass was intended for Nathan Clemens, and it just says senior. So I don't know what he weighs. So Staley has pinned Truman back against the end zone here, and they'll be punting out of the end zone. And here's the snap, kick, and it's a pretty good kick as it goes up to the 50-yard line. Staley player picks it up, makes a turnaround, kind of a big U-turn, and I think he's just barely going to get back to where he started with that play. And the punt returner on that was Koa Grace. He's a senior, 5'8", 162 pounds. I guess he saved a few yards because it might have rolled another 5 if he'd have just let it go. But he picked it up and immediately reversed himself and actually lost about 5 yards in the process. Like I say, so far, boy, both defenses are just dominating this game, and neither team able to move the ball at all. Of course, it's the first game, and I'm sure there's a lot of timing issues and what have you to work out. Now here's a long pass, and the receiver's open. And as I say that, Staley makes that big play that everybody's looking for. And I'll tell you here in a minute who the receiver was. That is number 1 for Staley. And that it is Raymond Shelton. Like I say, he's a senior, 5'11", 163 pounds. Just as I'm talking about how the defenses have dominated, Staley pulls off the big one there as Shelton got behind the defensive man, and a long arcing pass and a low line drive kick, but it will be good. And Staley is going to take the lead here, 7-0. And that extra point was Braden Walker. He's a senior, 5'9", 163. So here we are now with 10:14 to play here in the second quarter, and Staley has jumped ahead, 7-0. We'll be back for the kickoff. Okay, Staley with the lead, and they are kicking off, and it's going to go down to about the 8-yard line, where Truman's going to pick it up, and pretty nice return here as he's back to just about the 30. And that was number 12, That was Quincy Scott, so that was about a 22-yard return for Truman on that kickoff. So now we'll see if Truman can fire it up and get something going here, as Staley has drawn first blood for the 2019 season for the Staley Falcons. Staley, it looks like, with a three-man front there on the defense. Yeah, it is three-man front on it. Now one guy steps up into the defensive end slot, and they're going to do a pass, and they're going to get a few yards on this. As it's about a 18-yard gain, I'd say, and the reception was by number 17, I believe, Drake Hawley. He's a senior, 6 foot 180. Like I say, about 18 yards on that play. Once again, Staley with that three-man front. Truman with three men split out. Some Staley players in the backfield, but they were out too wide as the Truman back ran right up the middle. And I missed. No gain on that play, so it's going to be 2nd down and 10. I'm sorry, I missed the running back's number. Truman with 4 men out wide. One back in the backfield with quarterback. Oh man, almost intercepted, but a completed pass. And that was to number 11, and that's A.J. Gitson. He's a junior, 6 foot, 150 pounds. Giddens is going to gain 7 on that play. So Truman in a little bit more manageable play here with 3rd down and 3. And the ball on about the 46-yard line, 45 and a half. Quarterback's dropping back. Now he's going to run. And I see a flag thrown. And he gets out of bounds just about at the marker. We'll have to see who this penalty is on. And it's going to be holding on Truman. So that'll bring the play back plus some yardage. .8:12 here left in the second quarter. And man, they're bringing that back. It looks like 15 yards on that. So now it's going to be like 3rd down and 17. Which they went from, like I say, I think a 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 17. So far Truman just can't seem to get things together, but remind everybody, it is the first game of the season. Usually the offenses, I think, have a little bit more trouble than what the defenses do. As a big Staley lineman gets through there and actually kind of knocks the quarterback down, but what I would call a controlled hit, if that's a good term. And that's Nick Wright, and he's a senior, 6'3", 217. Now you could imagine that brute taking you down to the ground. But anyway, Truman in the punt formation now. Staley player on, looks like the 25-yard line, waiting for the ball. And it's going to hit bounce, and he's going to pick it up and does more or less that same move again and gets tackled. I think that was the same gentleman that tried that a while ago. It was number 25. K.O. Grace, senior, 5'8", 162. So it'll be Staley here. We're going to take this little break, catch our breath. We'll be back as soon as they line them up. Okay, Staley with the ball and everybody in tight. And they hand it off, and he is going to be sacked. Or not sacked, but taken down. Oh, with probably an 8-yard loss on that, it looks like. Well, the line judge is showing that it was maybe only 4 yards, so they, where his forward progress was, I don't know exactly how they do that. But once again, Staley up. Boy, Staley is really decreasing the amount of time in between plays. Out in the flat to 25. He's not going to get away and will be taken down. And that may be close to where the ball was. And once again, KO'd Grace with the pass. He lines up out wide again. Staley up to the ball quickly. Just not giving Truman much time to get set up on defense. Snap, quarterback, he's back looking deep, and he's going to throw it again, looks like for number 1. And it's going to get knocked down. Looked like when Ramon Shelton went to jump up to catch that, he kind of did it backwards and lost his balance. Even if he caught it, probably when he hit the ground, it would have fallen out. But the defensive player was right there and almost intercepted it. But it falls to the ground, so now it's going to be 3rd and 15. And Staley looks like they're bringing in a bunch of players for this. I don't know what they're going to try here. Everybody in tight. One receiver split out. Well, it looks like they're in punt formation. Oh, it's 4 and 15. That's why they're changing so many players. Truman player back just by the other side of the 50-yard line for this punt. The kicker on about the 6-yard line gets it away. It's going to hit at about the 47, bounces, and the guy picks it up and is immediately hit. Truman player picked it up. I guess they didn't want to lose any more yardage on it. The kick returner on that play. That's Christopher Rhodes. He's a junior, 6 foot, 156. 156 pounds. I think we might have a timeout here, folks. We'll be back when play resumes. Okay, Truman with the ball here on the their own 43-yard line.
155.
And there's a nice pass, and the receiver is loose, and a very nice gain there. That's probably close to 30 or 35 yards on that pass reception. See if I can catch his number. That was number 12 with the reception for Truman. That's Quincy Scott, junior, 6'2", 175. Nice sized boy. And he made a good run after that reception. As Truman now down on the 35-yard line of the Staley Falcons with a 1st and 10. Plenty of time, 6 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Handoff pretty much in the middle, and he's might have gotten a slight gain. If it probably was anything, it was maybe a half a yard. According to the sticks on the other side, they're just calling it back to the line of scrimmage. Staley so far have been really tough on the running plays from Truman. I think Truman has actually done better with the pass, gained more yards passing. Clock ticks away, down to 6 seconds. Truman's going to have to hurry it up here. 3, 2, and they barely get it off with 1 second. And the quarterback is going to break through there. And he will gain about 4 yards, it looks like. So it's going to be 3rd and 6 for Truman now as they're down on the 31-yard line of the Staley Falcons. Still plenty of time. I'm sure they wouldn't mind running this clock out and just getting a score and go into the locker room at halftime tied up 7-7. Something I'm not seeing here so far with either one of these teams, which used to drive me nuts. They get up to the line of scrimmage and then they turn around, look over to the sideline to see what the play was. Pass downfield, but incomplete. Intended for number 6. That's Christopher Rhodes. Once again, junior, 6 foot, 154. So now it's going to be 4th and 6. Will Truman elect to go for this? It looks like they are. The offense is staying out on the field. Quarterback Carter Brown comes back into the huddle, relays the play. They're going to pull out. And we've got a stoppage in play and time. I don't know what that was for. Now everybody lines back up. I wonder if this is going to be a quick kick or what we're going to do here. Truman with 2 guys out wide. No, he's going back to pass. He's going to scramble outside. Says, give me a block here, but he's only going to get about 4 yards, I think. So they're still going to be like 2 yards short. And Staley may be taking over, but there's a flag on the play. And it's in the backfield, so it could be. Looks like it was against Truman. And I seen one of the coaches on the sideline for Staley point the other way, so it sounds like they're just going to take the ball and not take the penalty because it was 4th down and he didn't get to 1st down. Holding on Truman. So Staley will take over on downs, and they still got 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in this second quarter. Staley lined up and ready to go. Truman still shuffling players in and out. Staley with 2 men out wide to the right. 2 men in the backfield with the quarterback.
Thanks, Dad.
Fake handoff, pass into the middle there. And I believe that was number 1 again, Raymond Shelton, I think. Yeah, I think it was. I should know, shouldn't I? And we got a handoff out here to number 8. That's David Brooks, and he's a sophomore. 5'8", 157. Nice run. Looks like a 1st down on that play. Two men out wide again, 2 in the backfield. Handoff this time. He's going to go right up the middle. And I think that's David Brooks again. And that's going to be a 1st down for Brooks. Clock still running, so that's going to be 3:23 to play here now as we are working our way down to the half. Staley finally getting where they're moving the ball, and it looks like he's going to get tripped up on that play, as that was Brooks again with the carry, but I don't know if his foot slipped or what, but anyway, looks they're calling it a slight gain, but not much, I think. It was 3rd and less than a yard for the 1st down. Man in motion to the left with 2 men split out. Another run up the middle. Blow the whistle, please, before somebody gets hurt. A lot of people getting jerked around. And that's going to be a 1st down. Missed the back on that. I think it was 25. Grace, I think, with the carry. 2 men out wide to the right. And I think they're going to call an offsides on number 74 as he got into the neutral zone there. That is Devon Rivera. Once again, it's a junior, 6'4", 370. So Staley gets a free 5 yards and stop the clock. Can't get it much better than that. And they're going to start it again. Play comes in. Come on, guys. Got 4 men out wide, 1 guy in the backfield. Quarterback drops back. He's looking downfield, nothing there. So he is going to run, and he'll go out of bounds at about the 32, which is a first down. And that was Dawson Paula, the senior quarterback, 6 foot, 196. Nice run, like I say, all receivers were covered, so he just tucked the ball away, and away he went. And once again, up into the middle there, and a bunch of pushing and shoving, and finally somebody goes down. I think Grace was the carrier again. And they're going to call a penalty here. Line judge on the far side walks over to talk to the head referee there. And we'll see what they come away with there. It's against Truman, and I don't know what that call is. See what the stadium announcer says. Not sure. And they're not going to tell us. But they get another 5 yards and another first down. Minute 38 to go here in this second quarter. Once again, 2 men out wide for Staley, 2 in the backfield. Fake handoff and a nice pass and catch right over the middle of the field. And that catch was number 2. That's Trevor Dusenberry. He's a senior, 6'4", 178. And a running play. And it looks like they are going to call him down right at about the 1 yard line. And Truman lines up, Staley lines up again real quick here as the clock was ticking. Now it goes back in. Handoff. And it's another touchdown for Staley. And once again, seems to be getting a lot of the duty here at running back is Kea Grace, the senior, as he takes it in for the touchdown. Now Staley ahead 13-0 with 1:03 left in the half. Last time this kick was low, just barely cleared the crossbar by about 6 foot. That's not barely, I guess. A little more arch this time, but it is good. And the extra point good by Walker. Folks, 14-0. A minute and 3 to play. We'll be back as soon as they kick off to the Truman Patriots. All right, here's the kickoff. Once again, Staley ahead 14-0 here so far with a minute and 3 to play. Down to about the 7 yard line. He will get back up to about the 30 or 31. And that was, again, that was Christopher Rhodes with the return. That was about a 18 yard return, I'm going to call it, something like that. Patriots on their own 31. I'm sure they'd like to get something on the board here, even if it was a field goal. Quarterback's going to roll out, but it's not going to be catchable. Plus, I think the ball was out of bounds, but that was intended for Ed Turner, I believe. He's a junior, 6'2", 175. .48 seconds to play now. Three men split out, two in the backfield for Truman. And they're going to hand it off. Running back, and he's going to get about 4.5, 5 yards, I think. And I think they called a timeout. It's going to be 3rd and 5. Truman calls a timeout, folks. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Ball on the 36. We got 3rd and 5 here. Quarterback's going to roll out this way. I think there's a flag on the play back there in the backfield. I'm going to say it's probably a holding call by one of the linemen. No. Personal foul? What was that? Put his hands on his hips. I'm sorry. I'm not sure I know what that is. Illegal block, maybe? I should learn the rules, shouldn't I? How about that? Or learn the calls. But anyway, Truman's going to get penalized. Looks like it's going to be 5, 10, 15 yards. Wow. Chop block, maybe? But here Truman in a hole again. And I think, no timeout. Just the coach, Coach Light from Staley, out talking with the players. And now we're ready to resume play. I think 38 seconds to go. I think at this point, Truman would probably just like to hang on to the ball and keep it away from Staley, especially this deep in their own territory. Last thing in the world they want to do is give them the ball down here. And that's a bad snap and handoff, and the quarterback is going to get hammered back at about the 4-yard line. And that was worth 7 seconds there. And looks like another flag. We'll see what that's going to be. Did they call a chop block on that last one?
Actually wasn't paying attention.
He did something on his hips. The only thing I could figure was a chop block.
Yeah, could have been. Phone buzzed and I missed it.
Yeah. I knew it was in the backfield, but I didn't know what it was.
Right.
Whatever this is, it's probably going to be only half the penalty to the goal line, because the ball was on the... Still haven't heard what the penalty is, but it is like 4th and 40 now or something. Because the first down marker is at the 41-yard line, and the stick is down at about the 3-yard line. And I think we're going to have a timeout with 31 seconds to go. Maybe Staley thinks they can run this thing back. But we'll be back, folks, for this kick out of the end zone and see what happens. 31.8 to play here in the second quarter. Staley leads 14-0 over the Truman Patriots. All right, here we go. Truman got them guys spread out, kick out of the end zone. Truman player was at the 41, but he's going to catch it at the 31 and try to get away, but nothing going on with that. He'll get back up to about the 25-yard line, and Staley will put it in play. Looks like from the, 24. Yeah, we'll call it the 24. 1st and 10 for Staley here with 22.2 to play. Referee starts the play clock. Staley comes out. Looks like they're going to have 2 men out wide. We've seen this formation I don't know how many times already tonight. 2 guys in the backfield. Quarterback drops back. Going to pass over the middle. Good old number 1. And it's going to be a touchdown right there. That's 2 touchdown catches for Raymond Shelton. I'm sorry. I can't see it. The lights are not very good here. Shelton, Raymond Shelton. 20-0 for Staley here now. It's just 17-5 to play. The kick. And good. He's getting more height on it every time. And that's going to be the 3rd extra point for the Staley kicker. And that's Sanders. Well, folks, we'll line them back up here for 17 seconds. We'll be back with the end of the 2nd quarter. All right, Staley going to kick it off. Like I say, 17-5 to go. Nice kick, and they take it at about the 8-yard line. Going to run out this way again. Seems like they love to run to the right side. And a good return for number 6. As he's going to get it back up to about the 40. That'll be a 32-yard return. And that is Christopher Rhodes, the junior, 6 foot, 156. Like I say, he loves to run to the right side. I think they've done that all 3, maybe 4 kickoffs that they've had. They've all come this way. Pretty sure Staley probably be in a prevent defense this time, as with just that, 9.9 to go. Truman will, now they're just going to take a knee and run out the clock, so surprise, surprise for me. And the score here at the half is going to be, well, let's just look at the scoreboard. How about that? It's going to be Staley 21, Truman 0. For the first half of football, folks, for the 2019 football season here in the high schools in and around the Kansas City area. I hope you've enjoyed the game so far. We'll be back after the half. Grandpa's Sports Videos. Well, here we go, folks, with second half action. Truman going to be kicking off here. Nice high kick. Wow. Back to about the 2-yard line. And he just about broke that. And that was 22. I can't read that. It is such small print. I'm sorry. Joey Bernich, Jr., 5'9". This is going to be tough this second half, folks, because I cannot read this program. The type is so small, even with my glasses, I can't see it. Staley with the ball. 1st and 10, just started the second half. Going to be a handoff up into the middle. I think that's going to be the big back there. Going to be Mitchell. Gets a handoff up into the line. Folks, if you didn't make it out to a football game tonight, you should be ashamed. It is a beautiful night out here. I could slip on my light jacket and I think I would be perfectly comfortable. It is cooling off really nice. Staley quarterback, oh my gosh. Throws it right to a Truman defender. And that looked like that was the defensive end that had dropped back in coverage. As number 50, Cade Blayton. That's all I can tell you. I know I'm going to butcher these names. I apologize already. But anyway, looked like he Defensive end and drop back and pass again for Staley. And they go out to the go-to guy here tonight, number 1. That's Shelton. Once again, I think he's got 2 touchdown passes already. And another reception for a first down. Gain of about 15 yards on that play, I think. Go ahead, guys. Thank you. Handoff. And 10-yard gain. I think that's number 25. Grace with the carry. Grace again gets into the line, puts his head down, but he's going to be brought down there. It looks like with a gain of about 2.5. Staley with 2 men split out to this side this time. Seemed like in the first half they were splitting them out to the other side. 2 men in the backfield, man in motion. Fake handoff. Quarterback rolls out, going to throw it out here in the flat, but it will be dropped. And that was number 24. Joey D'Angelo. Joey D'Angelo, junior, 5'9", 183. This hurry-up offense that Staley runs is really something to watch. I mean, they are up and at the line. I don't have to watch next time to see if they even have a huddle. And I don't know if that was a Wildcat play or not, but I'm thinking somebody else got the handoff, the snap, I mean. And he's not going to get anything, and that's going to be, it looks like 4th and about 7. But I believe Staley is going to go for it. And that's going to be offsides, which is going to help Staley a bunch. And I think that was a linebacker that had stepped up into the line and looked like they were going to blitz. Yeah, see, no huddle for Staley. I'm going to change some personnel there. We got another player coming in. One coming out. 2 wide over on the right side. Everybody else in pretty tight. It was a handoff. And they are going to get the first down. Once again, 2 men out wide. Back up behind the, and another running play into the line. I believe that's going to be the big back. What was it, 17? Sanders? Nope. 24. Mitchell, I'm sorry, 27, Mitchell was the ball carrier. He got about 3 yards. Oh, nice pass over the middle with a reception, and that's going to get him down to about the 6-yard line. Number 16 with the reception. It's Jonathan. Somebody?
Yes, I did.
Wyatt. Go ahead, dear. Yeah, go ahead.
You have to be.
Pass out in the flat, but it's going to be dropped by Staley. We're down to 8 minutes here in the third quarter. Be second and goal for Staley as they are on the 8-yard line, right at 8 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Man, Staley's got them spread out here. Quarterback back to throw, going to throw it to the flat. Going to be a reception, bounce off the defender, gets turned around, and then a bunch of shoving again. And he may gain another 2 or 3 yards there with all that pushing. I think that was Mitchell on the carry. Well, we got that settled. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout. I'm not sure. Going to have a timeout, folks. 7:34 to play. Staley ahead, 21-0 over Truman. We'll be back. Staley runs it, and it's going to be Mitchell with a straight-ahead running play right into the line and in the end zone. And now it's going to go up to 28-0 for the Staley Falcons. 7:31 to play. Truman, you can kind of tell, it looks like their spirits have kind of dropped a little. A lot of hands on the hips, whatever. And that's a good kick there. He gets some height on that one, and that's going to make it 28-0. Once again, 7:31 to play as Staley Falcons lead the Truman Patriots. We'll be back with the kickoff here in just a minute. Flip-flops. Here's the kickoff. Going to be a short one. He's going to take it at about the 12 or 13. And once again, he's going to come over here to the right. But he's going to be hit way back there. And once again, that is number 6. Looks like they just really want to kick it to that guy. Christopher Rhodes. Junior, 6'0", 156. He sure looks a lot bigger than 156 pounds. But maybe it's just the uniform. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, she does. I gave her a present and I wrote this down.
I guess the question of the hour is, Truman going to be able to mount some offense here and at least get a score on the board? A handoff, and he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. I believe the announcer said that was Smith on the carry. 2-yard loss on that running play. Might kind of give you a rundown. Let me see if I can hold this with my knees. I don't have my tripod here tonight. We've got my pole. Pass over the middle, but it is dropped. Might kind of give you the schedule here for Staley this year. Of course, tonight they got the Truman Patriots. September 6th, which looks like will be an away game. The Falcons will be traveling up to Kearney to take on the Bulldogs. That's September 6th. And then after that, on the 13th, they'll be playing Lee Summit. And then back home on the 20th for Park Hill South. Truman with 4 split out wide. Quarterback's going to have to roll out, look, throw downfield, but it's overthrown for the receiver. Intended for Rhodes, no good. We'll get back to the schedule here. This should be a big game here, as on the 27th they'll be facing Lee Summit West. And then October 4th, what you could almost call a crosstown rivalry, it'll be Liberty North. Then that's October 4th. Then October the 11th will be St. Joe Central. Then back home again for Park Hill South, and of course, longtime rival Liberty on the 25th. I think we've got a timeout, folks. 6:29 to play. Staley 28-0 over the Truman Patriots. We'll be back after this timeout. There we go. Punt formation for Truman. Kicks away. Pretty good punt. It's going to hit at about the 45, keep rolling, and they will down it. Looks like at about the Staley 48, I would say. Might kind of run over who of course I already told you that Coach Light is the head coach here at Staley, but the assistant coaches, offensive line coach is Jeremy Hayes. Defensive line coach, David Wilson. Offensive coordinator, wide receivers, is Jacob Hewitt. Assistant head coach and defensive coordinator is John Kruger. And the DFO Leadership Council is Brad Voigt. Staley with the ball now on their own 48-yard line. Looks like quarterback is going to keep it. Try to go around the end. And he will be met with probably about, looks like they may give him a yard and a half on that play. So it's going to be second down. I'm going to say 9. They're saying 8. Absolutely not. Thank you. Handoff into the line again. Looks like that was number 5 with the carry. Well, we got third down and 6. 3 receivers out wide, and it looks like they're going to get a pass out there to number 3. No, I'm sorry, it's number 1. Ron Shelton again with the catch. I'd like to know how many yards that guy's got tonight. He has been killing them on the passes. Really had a lot of nice throws. And a nice run and almost a breakaway. That's Marshall. Marshall, the ball carrier, and that was about a 12-yard gain, I think. But anyway, I started to say some nice passes from the Staley quarterback. Parks. And another handoff. Looks like Staley may be coming out here and going to grind this out. Kind of let that clock run a little bit more. And that looks like about a gain of about 6 yards, because they're calling it 2nd and 4 here. Ball now on the 25-yard line for Staley. Once again into the line. Ball carried by Brooks. Number 25. Looks like he's taking a couple of deep breaths there. Once again, no huddle. They are taking just a little bit more time, I think, in between plays, even though the play clock is still just barely at 15 seconds. So they could have run more time off the clock if they wanted to. Looks like they're going to go deep. And another touchdown for number 1 as he gets behind his defensive player. Tell you what, I think you could just about make a highlight reel out of the catches that this young man has made tonight. That's Shelton again with the catch. I think that's 3 touchdown catches for him tonight. And of course, perfectly placed throw. Again, you got to give the quarterback credit on that. Just led him perfectly. And that's Parks, I believe, is the quarterback. But anyway, 35-0. And I think that may qualify for a running clock. Was reading in the program. Truman came into the game here tonight from last year's season 0-10. So I'm sure the coach, Charles Pugh at Truman, is just looking for any kind of improvement from last year. And so far, they've had some good plays. It's just they can't string enough of them together to be able to move down the field. Plus penalties have kind of hurt them here. So first game, folks, I mean, give them a break. We'll just have to see how it goes for Truman, how the rest of the year plays out. 3:10 to go here in the third quarter. Like I say, Staley leading 35-0 over the Truman Patriots. And here's the kickoff. And number 6 picks it up. Going to go to the left this time. And he'll be brought down from the back, I believe. But he's going to get about a 25-yard return. I think they said the tackle was 17, and that's Walker. He's a senior. 5'9", 160. Ball on their own 36. 2 men out wide, actually 3, I'm sorry. One on the other side, didn't see him. Quarterback's going to roll out, pass, and it's going to hit the ground before the receiver even has a chance at it. And we've got a flag on the play. I missed the penalty there. It looked like he was tapping his hat, and I'm not sure what that means. But there's going to be a 5-yard penalty. It looks like for whatever it was. Clock back running. I think we are under a running clock, I think, because the ref started the clock as soon as they got the penalty measured off, and I think they're going to catch him for a loss. Way back on, and a penalty. But they're going to bring him down, it looks like, on about the 8-yard line. That's a big loss. The ball was on the 31. It's going to be probably unsportsman on Staley, as I think that one of the players kind of either on the tackle or a display afterward. Maybe threw him down. I really just didn't see the play, folks. I'd have to review it. But it's on Staley one way or the other. This will probably be 15 yards to put them back up because it's still just first down. There's 5, 10, 15. Personal foul. So he must have thrown him down to the ground. Minute 38 to play. Refs over talking to coaches from Staley, trying to clarify, I guess, on that, what the penalty was and who done it and whatever. Clock starts. And another fumble in the backfield, picked up by the running back. But, man, there's a host of Staley players in the backfield, and he's brought down immediately, and that's going to be a loss of about 4 yards. So it'll be second and looks like about 15 or 16 yard line, or second and 16 yards for the first down. None of you have ever been out to Staley High School? Why, you might want to make a trip out here sometime. Beautiful facility, kind of a shining star for the North Kansas City School District. I forget, this thing must be about, facility must be about 15 years old or so now. Truman with two receivers out wide. Quarterback gets a snap, and he's going to have to get out of the pocket. And he's got a pretty good run there, and he will get the first down, I believe, before he goes out of bounds on the far sideline. So that penalty pretty costly for Staley, as they had him pinned way back on the 8-yard line. Like I said, it would have been probably 1st and 40 or something like that for a first down. But Truman now with a first down and the opportunity to try to get on the scoreboard. As like I say, I think we are in a running clock here. Staley blitzing as two receivers go crashing through, or I'm sorry, two linebackers go crashing through the line. And the quarterback just throws it away. So here at the end of the third quarter, it's going to be 35-0 Staley Falcons over the Truman Patriots. We'll be back here as we switch ends and start the fourth quarter. Here we are. Third quarter of the high school football season already gone. It's really hard to believe. All right, fourth quarter play. Truman Patriots with the ball. Looks like they're wanting to pass again, but the receivers are covered, and they're going to get one for a first down over on the far side. It's going to be a first down, probably close to a 18, 20-yard play. My bad, I missed out on who that receiver was. I look at this tiny screen, I can't see it, the numbers of the players. But sometimes I can look over the top of the camera and catch who it is. I guess I'm trying to make excuses here. Got a one-man deal. Trying to shoot, trying to play-by-play all at the same time. Once again, and guys, the receiver for Truman wide open. And kind of tried to fake out the defensive man, but it didn't happen. but still a nice gain. Gosh, that must have covered 25 to 30 yards there. And I believe that receiver was number 12. Let me see if I can see who this is. Quincy Scott, junior, 6'2", 175. Looks like some of the Staley faithful are saying, hey, this one's in the bag. We're going home. Crowd's starting to thin out a little. Another pass. Same receiver. I think that was complete. Yes. Yeah, but it looks like it's just back up to the line of scrimmage. And the clock continues to run, even though it was he did receive that and go down, so the clock would continue to run. And there was no first down on it, so clock continues to run. We're down to 9:50 already to play here in the fourth quarter. Truman with 3 men out wide, 1 guy in the backfield. Snap, once again Staley blitzes. Quarterback steps up to the front of it, and he's going to get another 5 or 10 yards. And man, he almost gets in, and they are going to call it a touchdown. And that was a quarterback from Truman. He eluded 2 of the blitzers coming in, stepped forward past them, and then rolled around the left side and will go in and score. Well, that'll make it 35-6, Staley over Truman. And that was quarterback Parks, Dawson Parks, quarterback for Truman. He's actually played a pretty decent game. Extra point, and it is blocked. Once again, boy, Staley just sending, well, I don't know, almost everybody in on those kicks and whatever, as they've been blitzing all night and getting through there pretty easy. But anyway, the score here with 9:25 to play in the fourth quarter is going to be Staley 35, Truman 6. We'll be back with the kickoff. Well, we got the kickoff here from Truman after they score their first touchdown of the season. Staley's got 4 people back. Nice kick. Going to be towards the near sideline. Number 8 there with some running room. Gets by one more guy. And it's going to be a touchdown for number 8. I'll tell you in a minute who it is as soon as I can put the camera down because everybody stood up. Were there any flags? I think the ref and the linesman and whoever are converging over there. We'll have to see if there was a call, but that was number 8, and that is Brooks. Can't tell if that's David or what that is. Yeah, David Brooks, sophomore, 5'8", 157. Looks like there is a penalty, but they are going to assess it on the kick, I think. We'll see what the call is, folks. We'll be right back as soon as everything's all straightened out. Evidently, it was not a touchdown. They called it back. It was a holding penalty on Staley, so now they're going to have the ball on the 14-yard line. Handoff into the line, and he's still on his feet and finally drugged down. Didn't get that ball carrier, I'm sorry. David McLeod, I don't know what number, is what it sounded like the name was. Probably shouldn't say anything. I don't know, but I'm sorry, folks. Staley with loaded backfield again. And a nice run, and I think that was number 8 again. I'm sorry, number 5. Devon Marshall going to get down, looks like about to the 1-yard line. So now it's going to be 1st and goal for Staley down here on the 1-yard line with 8:05. Staley with one guy out wide to the right, but I don't think that's going to do any good. And a handoff, but he is tripped up. I think actually almost looked like he caught the foot of the quarterback as he received the ball and kind of fell forward right there. Now that's going to be 2nd down and 1 to go. 2-yard line, they're saying. Once again, Staley with one out wide, handoff. And I think they're going to give it to number 8. He got him down there, so why not? So he's going to get the touchdown after all. And number 8 is David Brooks. Like I say, sophomore, 5'8", 157. Not too big, but he must be pretty tricky. Pretty tricky runner. I knew he had some speed because, boy, he outran everybody on that touchdown that was called back. It's up. Boy, kind of a dud kick. Just kind of a floater over the goalpost, but it is good. And it's going to be 42-6 now with just 7:23 to play here in the 4th quarter. Folks, we'll be back with the kickoff in just a little bit. Yeah. Going to have the kickoff here. Staley be kicking to Truman with a 42-6 lead. 7:23 to play. Ball falls off the tee, so I guess looks like somebody's going to come in and hold it. Ref steps in, says, I got to touch the ball, folks, before you can do this. So he does, and they put it back down, and looks like it's going to be held by number 4. And here's the kick. Down to the 10-yard line. Number 6 again, and he's going to the right again, and he's going to get tackled again over there. Actually, I think the best run back he's had is when he went to the left. But they seem intent on going that way. They must feel like they have some good blockers on that side. And we got a timeout. I think we do. We'll be back, folks, after the timeout. Going to resume play, like I say, now down to 7 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Quarterback's going to drop back. He's looking again. Everybody's covered, and he's going to run and get the 1st down. Probably with a yard or 2 to spare. Well, Carter Brown has been pretty impressive, I think, tonight. He has played really well. Not to fault any of the other players, but the quarterback for Truman has, I think, played really good. Has been spot on with his passes, has had several good runs. They've just not had much of a running attack without him being out there. I mean, without him carrying the ball. And once again, he just tucks that ball away and takes off and gets another 1st down for Truman. Not saying right or wrong, but I just wonder if Truman had tried to do more of this earlier in the game, where they might be right now. But I'm sure Coach Pugh wanted to see what he's got for a team over there. Handoff, there we go. There's a nice running play. And he's going to get about 8 yards. That was number 21. Smith, the ball carrier. Smith is a junior, 5'9", 165. Coming up on 5 minutes. First game of the season is just about to be in the history books. And once again, Staley rips in there with a bunch of blitzers, and quarterback has to unload it. And he overshoots Moore, who was going down the sideline, but covered by Drago. And the clock runs. Got to be a kind of a sad feeling for a football team when you're just trying to make a showing and, like I say, get on the scoreboard and the clock just continues to run on you. The way this game started out, I never envisioned that the score would be what it is, and it looks like that's going to be a first down run for the Truman back. Number 21. That's Smith again. Another first down for Truman. Slowly making their way downfield. Will they be able to get another score here? Just not that familiar with the Staley players, but you have to think that with a score like this, there's probably a lot of second team players in there. Quarterback looking. Rolling, man, he's already run about 35 or 40 yards. Now he's just going to jump out of bounds over on the sideline and gain about 1 yard after he ran 40 yards. But he's out there and I'm not, so what can I say? Coming up on 3 minutes. 3 minutes left, exactly right now. Truman with 2 out wide to the left, 1 out wide to the right, and they're going to hand it off, and he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And he'll be stopped there. Once again, boy, Staley is just blitzing like crazy. They must be sending 3 or 4 of the defensive backs almost every play. Must have a lot of confidence in their corners, because with so many pass plays that Truman has tried to run, that's going to be man-to-man coverage on those. 4 guys out wide again. Quarterback steps back, and he's going to get the throw and a catch. And that's going to be a first down, as they're going to get it down to about the 32-yard line. Minute 45 to go. Truman still moving the ball. 1st and 10 here. Ball on the 32. Blitz again. Quarterback steps up and a long throw into the end zone, but he overshoots number 11 by probably 10 yards, so it wasn't even a close play. Even if he had gotten open, I think he had pretty much gotten by the defensive player, but he wasn't that far past him. Drago on the coverage. Pass intended for number 11. A.J. Gettin. And we are almost at the minute mark here for the first game of the season in high school football to be over. And a throw out here to number 17, and defensive play by number 2, who was pretty much there and sticking a hand out. 41 seconds. And it looks like Staley really putting in the second team now. We're getting down to 30 seconds to go. Maybe only one more play here for Truman. And this game will be over. Carter's gone all the way for Truman. 15 seconds to go. He's back, looking. Long throw. And going to be overthrown. And I think that's going to be it. The clock's going to run out. Folks, your score here for the first game of the high school football season is going to be Staley Falcons 42 and the Truman Patriots 6. Folks, I hope you have enjoyed the game here from Staley Stadium. It has a name, but I'm sorry, I can't remember what it is right now. But anyway, Grandpa Sports Videos has enjoyed the opportunity to come up here and shoot the game tonight. If you like it, why, get to see it, why, tell a friend, tell them to join up with Grandpa Sports Videos. We'll be doing some high school sports all through the winter season. And that's all for tonight from Staley Falcon Stadium. Good night.